Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Alisa binti Ahmad Kamaruddin. My student ID is 2023654584, and I will be representing my team members to do a presentation for our business analytics group project. So, first and foremost, I would like to thank our lecturer, Dr. Muhammad Khalil bin Omar, for who have taught us a lot in this course, and also for watching our virtual presentation. I hope you are doing well. And also, I would like to thank anyone who is currently watching this presentation. So, before we dive in, I would like to take a moment to give you a brief explanation on what this presentation is all about, and also the main points that I will be covering throughout this presentation today. We were given the assignment to analyze the data and report our findings based on the knowledge that we have learned in class for topic 3, 4, and 5. And the findings were based on a data file titled Manual, which, as you can see here, there is a various categories in the row, and there are total of 51,290 data in this file. Without further ado, let's start our presentation. So for the first topic is the topic 3. Our group has analyzed the data in Tableau dashboard format. So we have generated a bar chart for sales by category, a map for sales by country, and lastly a pie chart for quantity by market. So, as you can see here, for the sales by category, there are a total of three categories, which are technology, furniture, and also office supplies. And from this bar chart, we can see that technology has the most amount of sales, which is 4,744,557, and also the least amount of sales goes to the office supplies category, which is 3,787,493. So actually, we can play around with this tool, like just we can arrange it by however we want. You can arrange it in ascending order or descending order, like the way that we did it in the beginning. So next, let's see for the sales by country. So for the sales by country, we do it in the map form. So, it is easier for you to see how much is the sales, because the data just it's just right in front of you. Okay, so for the darker color, it means that they have more amount of sales, and for the lighter color, it means that they have a lesser amount of sales. And also, there's a tool here that we can use. For example, if you want to see only like certain amount of sales by the region, you can just untick or tick it. Example, we just untick the Canada and Caribbean region, so it grays out the region that we have unselect. But if you select it, you can see it back. Okay, and also there's another tool that makes you easier to see the data is, for example, I want to see the data for Malaysia, but instead of just toggling, I can just type in here Malaysia. Okay, enter. And there, yeah, I can see the amount of sales for Malaysia. So makes it easier for you to see the amount of sales of each country without you having to zooming in and zooming out of this map. And also, lastly, we have the quantity by market, which it has a total of five market, which are the USCA, which means US and Canada, and then Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, and also Latin America. So from this pie chart, we can see that Asia Pacific has the most quantity of orders, whereas the least number of quantity goes to the Africa market. So now let's move to chapter 4. So for this chapter, we have chosen the sales, quantity, and shipping cost data. And we analyze the data by doing the measure of central tendency, descriptive statistics, and also the measure of shape. So for measure of central tendency, we have the median, mean, and mode. So as you can see here, we have the mean, median, and mode for the sales quantity and also the shipping cost. Okay, and then next we have the descriptive statistics. So, what is a descriptive statistics? Well, it's actually a tool that provides a summary of numerical statistical measure for a sample data. So, this table is actually constructed using a tool in Excel itself by going to this data tab and then just clicking on this data analysis, and then you click the descriptive statistics. Then you can customize it. You can customize the data like however you want it to be shown, whether you want to edit in a new sheet or in this sheet itself. So here you can see we have the mean, standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, minimum, maximum, sum, and also count. And last but not least, we have the measure of shape. So for the measure of shape, we have both kurtosis and skewness. And okay, if you're wondering what is kurtosis, it refers to the thickness, whether high or narrow, or the flatness of the histogram. So if the kurtosis is more than 3, like here for the kurtosis of sales and shipping costs, it means that the data is somewhat flat with a wide degree of dispersion. But as for quantities, since the kurtosis is less than 3, it means that the data is somewhat peak with less dispersion. So for the skewness, what is a skewness? Skewness, it describes the lack of symmetry of the data. Okay, so if the skewness it is negative, then it means it is left skewed data. But if it's positive, then it means it is a right skewed data. So since these three it is all positive, it means that is a right skewed data. And also if it's more than one, it suggests it is a high degree of skewness. And if it's in between 1 and 0 0.5, it suggests a moderate skewness. But if it's less than 0 0.5, it suggests a relatives of symmetry. So for this skewness, we know that this is a high degree of skewness. And for this one, it is also a high degree of skewness. And this one is also high degree of skewness, since all these three is more than one. Okay, so for the last topic, which is topic 5, we have analyzed the data by doing hypothesis testing, which involves drawing inferences about two contrasting propositions, which each are called a hypothesis. So HO hypothesis means null hypothesis, which describes an existing theory, whereas for H1, it is also called the alternative hypothesis, which complements the HO. So for this data, we did two t-tests, which is t-test 2 sample assuming unequal variances for variable 1 and variable 2, and another one is a t-test for 2 sample assuming unequal variances for low and high. So to generate this t-test table, we can do it the same way as we did the one in this here, which is the statistic. But the only difference is just go to the data tab, data analysis, and then you select the test to sample for variances. So this is how you do it, and this is also how you get the results. And here you can see that we have the mean, variance, observations, hypothesized mean difference, the DF, t-stat, the one tail, and then the critical one tail, two tail, and also the critical two tail. So the hypothesis analysis for variable one and variable two, it says that the HO says the average of sales for low order priority minus the average of sales for high order priority are less than 0. And then for the H1, the average of sales for low order priority minus the average of sales for high order. Whereas the hypothesis analysis for the low and high, the HO says that the average of sales for low order priority minus the average of sales for high order priority is also less than zero. I mean less in part zero. And then for H1, the average of sales for low order priority minus the average of sales for high order is less than zero. So as we come to the end of the presentation, I would like to take this chance to express my gratitude to everyone who is watching for your attention throughout this presentation. I hope you gain some useful insights. Thank you and have a nice day.